Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Danny, physician astrologer. Oh my gosh, I know a lot of you like the dark stuff. You like Pluto, you like squares, you like to talk about all the drama that's in your chart. But if we look at the skies for the next 2 weeks, it is just amazing. It's incredible. I don't know. I feel like we could potentially have heaven on earth here. I don't know if it's that dramatic, but if you're tired of all the wounding and the healing and the transmuting, maybe just take a listen to this video and, take in some of this beautiful, bright energy that we have coming our way. I am titling this talk More Please. I actually work with a fantastic woman named Dr. Andrea Greiner, who helps people kind of tap into their inner prosperity, abundance, and it's more than just a journey about making more money. It's about valuing the self and providing value to the world around you through your unique gifts in a way that is inspired and effortless. And her last program was called More Please. So if you guys are interested in checking out her program, I'm actually going to leave a link in the description of this video. So if y'all want to go ahead and just click that and just tell her you heard from me, if you do sign up for it, I actually just completed the program with her, and every time I talk to her, something magical opens up for me. And it's not about money. It's not about making money. It's about moving through life with flow and with ease. And that's what this next set of transits is about, too. It's about asking for more. It's about looking around and seeing all the beautiful things that are around us, all the gifts that the universe has given us, all the tools at our disposal to really become masters of our own reality. And that's really what it's all about. My journey towards abundance started 2 decades ago, and I've been studying it, and the journey's morphed into something way more than that. But the result of it, the result of morphing into that spiritual being, awakening to my true self, is what brings the abundance to me. So, at any rate, let me share some of these transits with you. I'll share my screen. Quick announcement before we get started into the transits. The Jupiter class tomorrow night. Oh my gosh, we have over 60 enrolled. This is the biggest class I've ever had. I've dreamed of having, a large group of people, listening and learning and experiencing the process of having those aha astrology moments. So the class tomorrow night we're probably going to go at least 2 hours, but it goes by really quickly, you guys. It won't feel like 2 hours. And the regulars that come into the classes with me usually, they really, really enjoy it. You can ask any one of them and they'll tell you that it's a really good experience. So, everyone that is enrolled that's listening to this video, don't worry, you're going to get an email tonight that will give you instructions to seamlessly get onto the live event. And so hopefully that'll help you. And for those of you who want to enroll, will miss the email, but you can still sign up. Just make sure that you look at the documents in the course module. Once we record the class, you guys, I will take that video and turn it into course modules. So you will be able to access your free Jupiter class recorded as a replay. The reason I do that is because I want you guys to relax and listen during the live environment. You'll get much more out of it if your mind isn't wandering trying to figure something out. We do pause for questions. And so once we're, about 30, 45 minutes in, we pause the recording. I check in, make sure you guys are understanding me and that we're having a clear communication. Sometimes I screw up, and so you guys let me know that I missed something or whatever. So it's a really, really fun way to get that educational material out there to the public. So, all right, let me share my screen. We will look at the transits. Let's see. Open up Prometheus. Okay, here it is. I'm just going to move myself out of the way down here. For those of you that have watched my videos before, you've seen this. This is a time map that's generated by the Prometheus Capricorn software. And I've set it up to be from the full moon, which is the 23rd tomorrow, all the way to the new moon in June on 6/6 of 24, which is actually our wedding anniversary. So that's a special day, a new cycle. We last year we actually counted how many lunations we were married, and I think we had just come across our 333rd lunation, and we didn't even realize it. And it was last May. So it's fun to kind of count back and see how many moons you've been married, you know. At any rate, I digress. We have just some of the most beautiful transits ahead of us. Okay. There might be some challenging ones coming up after this, but we're going to focus on this set of 2 weeks right now. What are we going to do? What are we going to harvest after this full moon? And how are we going to bring new intentions that are productive and helpful and for our highest good into the next lunar cycle? So we started off from 519 to the day after the full moon on May 24th with the sun trine to a retrograde Pluto. So what you'll see here is the graph. Don't ignore the little wheel inside the wheel. You don't see that wheel. That is, look at the wheel on the outside. That's what the sky is doing right now. As we move this cursor through this time map, you're going to see the outer wheel move. So just don't look at the inner wheel. Okay. We're looking at the general aspects between what's in the sky. So it's not aspecting to that smaller wheel. What you'll also notice is that my zodiac has uneven constellations because it represents what it actually looks like in the sky to the degree that it is in the sky. If you're doing tropical, it's more of a 12 constellation deal and they're all equal length, which isn't accurate to the astronomy. So my ephemeris is the sky. All right. So we're gonna speak like we're looking up in the sky and we see that yes, indeed, the sun is conjunct the Pleiades, which is the constellation of Taurus. Okay. Sun trine Pluto. This is an intense and profound experience. We're going to want to research and investigate the inner workings to fully understand the fullest expression of this energy. And I feel like this has been true. This is actually kind of a waning energy. And over the last couple of days, I've been intensely pouring myself into certain techniques that help you forecast your financial astrology. So I'll be sharing some of that in the Jupiter class if you guys want to join. But there's a greater power and influence that's available, and there's a positive transformation that's occurring. A sense of control and interactions with authority should go very well. So if you're dealing with any kind of authority or government figures, it should go much better. Problems can be easily resolved. At the same time, Venus is conjunct Jupiter from May 21st to May 25th. Oh, this is like, we're just going to sit here and just savor these delicious transits. Okay. I hope you don't mind if this goes a little long, but if Sun trine Pluto wasn't like powerful and awesome enough for you, let's just sprinkle in a little Venus conjunct Jupiter. Okay. This is a transit of love, of money, of harmony, happiness. Usually it means we don't have to strive or struggle or work hard to achieve what we desire. It's just automatically comes to us. It's the greater and lesser benefic. It's the millionaire and the billionaire planet. It's just a good time to enjoy the benefits of good karma accrued from your previous good deeds. So think back to all the sacrifices that you've made, your martyr moments, and like drink it in. Like say, yes, I'm accepting the my payment for everything that I've done. I am worth what is due to me. Okay, so we need to be kind of in that state of mind. And so welcome back, invite back all of that. Just it's your time to pull all that energy back to yourself. Um, yeah, enjoy the benefits. Beautiful things are attracted to you during this time as well. Any financial offers you should jump at because they'll increase your wealth. This is just a very, very lucky transit. It's conjunct the Pleiades. Things can change after they pass the Pleiades, but right now, especially during the end of this week, it should be just a really nice, wonderful, expansive time, creative time. Then we're going to add one more really juicy transit to this from the 21st to the 25th is Venus sextiling on Neptune. Okay, let that one roll around in your brain a little bit. Sextiles are opportunities, and sextiles to Neptune are opportunities to surrender. It's a dissolving of the boundaries. It's a chance to open your heart and to let love and inspiration and self-worth and forgiveness in. And when you can do that, you can let your mind wander to creative inspiration. It's almost like it's just right behind the corner of your eye. So there's an opportunity for that. There's also an opportunity to be deceived. But I just I feel like even if the deception's there, it's probably for your own good. The stars are so auspicious right now. Then it gets even juicier. Okay, I should get my pen out here because we're going to be moving forward a little bit. Because right now I'm just talking about these next few days into the weekend. But early next week, it's just going to compound all that wonderful energy that we just had. I talked to you about Sun, trine Pluto, Venus conjunct Jupiter, and Venus sextile Neptune. Now we have Jupiter sextile Neptune. So do you see the pattern that is evolving on this chart? This right here, these trine sextiles. It's just incredible. So this is an opportunity to heighten your perspective, right? It's a very spiritually enlightened phase of the transit. And Jupiter and Neptune are going to contact each other a lot longer than the Venus and the Mercury transits that we're going to talk about. You really can align yourself with your goals and your philosophy or your religious beliefs. It's an opportunity for growth and good fortune through acts of kindness. So it's almost like the universe is also asking you to give of your fullest self and to know that you are okay, that nothing bad's going to happen to you if you open your heart and give yourself. Acts of compassion and charity, as well as generosity. There's a nice ability here to stay optimistic with good intentions. Again, you see, more please. I mean, can I? Yes, it's going to get better. I'm going to keep telling you about more amazing transits. So I'm sorry if you're sick of all this good stuff. You might as well move on, but we're going to keep talking about some really nice transits. Okay. There's one more in here that we have to talk about. Now, right here, this transit is Venus trining on retrograde Pluto. It's actually Venus Sun because Venus, Sun, and Jupiter are all together. And you can see that we've got, Venus conjunct Jupiter here, and then Sun trine Pluto. So, of course, Venus is going to trine Pluto as well because they're so close together. Okay. I'm trying to help you guys see the movement of the sky as well. And as we move this cursor, right, you can see Venus is getting closer and closer to Jupiter's Sun. And by the time we get to the weekend, that is complete and trining onto Pluto as well. So you add, you've already got Jupiter's also going to be trining here on Pluto. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but just add all this up together, okay? So Venus trining on Pluto has, while it's more kind of open and spiritual with Jupiter, with Pluto, there's a depth. And Pluto's the Lord of wealth as well. Not only the Lord of the underworld, transformation, death, and rebirth, but also the Lord of wealth, extreme wealth, legacy wealth, tremendous wealth. And so there's an intensity and a passion here. There's almost a karmic sensuality, like an attraction that was so intense that it was meant to be. So if you're unattached and you sort of meet someone that's caught your eye this weekend, it's going to feel particularly acute over the next few days because of these energies. So just keep that in mind and watch that Neptune energy. Don't be deceived, even though you feel so good. It's really going to feel good, you guys. Mercury and Saturn are going to come to our rescue, though, and kind of give us a little bit of practicality and some instructions on kind of how to deal with all of this juicy energy. So from the 26th to the 29th, Mercury will sextile Saturn. More good news, okay? So this is an excellent time for teaching and learning as well as practical business dealings. Mercury sextile to Saturn will give an opportunity for clear thinking, good judgment, common sense, self-discipline, and prudence, studying, research. So concentration type energy, focus, laser focus, especially with all that Pluto influence. It's just going to be so good. So good. Okay. I'm going to give you kind of a tough transit that might not be okay, depending on where you're at with your Chiron energy. We're going to talk about it. Here, Chiron is going to be conjunct Mars, and this is going to occur from May 27th to May 31st. This conjunction highlights a connection to deep wounds and the actions that we take. All right, so think about that for a minute. You could also think about it as healing through assertiveness, standing up for yourself, physical activity that helps you heal emotionally. But there can also be challenges, confrontations, struggles with anger and aggression. Like, what gets you angry? What makes you feel bottled up and pent up? And when you can see those moments, and instead of acting out on the angry that you're feeling, ask yourself, why am I angry right now? What is it that, because I can give you, the only thing I can tell you is to give you an example for myself. In my previous work, my day was timed out every 10 minutes. And when something came up that required me to inject 45 minutes within those 10-minute slots that were absolutely not available, I would get very angry. I would feel very pinched for time. And the reality is that time is a construct. There's plenty of it. Time's eternal. The future is the past, past is the present. The only thing that matters is the present right now, right? Like, all that's real. But when you have a lifestyle like that, it totally goes against how you want to flow through life. And so when I switched my job, what I do every day, there's more flow. I don't have appointments. I take care of whatever comes up. Yeah, sometimes I get a little crunched, but it's not like, oh, I have to be somewhere too or anything like that. And that was my trigger. So where that comes from, I still have to work on that, but I am. So you have to be able to identify it and to get yourself out of that situation, or have a nice way to release that pent up energy that is productive and constructive. But this one's really the only one you need to watch out for. And you're going to get instructions from Mercury and Saturn prior to this, and you're just going to be full of inspiration, joy, abundance, and happiness right before that. And then, oh gosh, we're not even done, and there's still so much good things to tell you. Maybe I'll speed it up a little bit. Um, from the 29th to June 7th, Jupiter, this is another longer transit, is going to trine on Pluto. And for me, this one just kind of stands out above all the other transits. It looks like Jupiter trine Pluto is the star of the show right here for these 2 weeks. This is a dramatic increase in power and influence, positive transformation of your life, your environment, other people's lives, uh, with a tremendous amount of good control over what's going on. Okay. A lot of times people get upset, fearful, angry, or afraid when they don't have control and they feel like they're slipping, the control is slipping. But this is just going to be like, guaranteed, I've got this. Like a confident, athletic performer, who's about to earn the gold medal, and they do it effortlessly and flawlessly. Like, this is this energy right here. So you want to maintain high vibration, high morals, high standards, do the right thing, come from the heart with compassion, with love. Put others above yourself, because what this does is it creates this amazing feedback loop with the ascension energy, the phoenix energy of Pluto, to generate tremendous wealth. It's a return of wealth to you for giving away so much for so long. All right. Actually, I don't think that one was the star of the show. We're going to talk about one more, and then I'm going to tell you who the star of the show is, and you guys won't be surprised at all, actually. From May 29th to the 1st, real quick transit, Mercury conjuncts Uranus as he moves into Taurus. So Mercury, if you see where the cursor is, you can see Mercury is right here over Uranus and has just moved into the constellation of Taurus and will be conjunct the Pleiades in a few days. All this means to me is break that pattern. Just break it. Don't even question it. You get a wild hair in your rear end, go ahead and do it. And it's going to bring you much needed change for that abundance and wealth we're all seeking. So this is breaking pattern. It's going to feel so good. Whatever it is, do it. Then the star of the show, my friends, is Sun conjunct Venus. Okay, this is it right here. Perfects on the 4th. This is when we go from morning star to evening star. Hashtag Venus specialist. Oh my gosh. We're going to see Venus in the evening in the west, right after the sun sets. Oh, probably have about 8 more weeks to wait. She disappears for quite a while when she goes through this phase because she's on the other side of the sun. So she's in service to the sun with this energy. Okay. Um, very nice. This is an inflection point in Venus's cycle. This is an opportunity to this is a new creative cycle. So what you'll notice is that you'll start to feel a little bit of inspiration over the coming weeks. It's going to build and build and build and build. And by the time we can actually visually see Venus, something's going to break through for you. Okay, on your creative cycle level, something that you're in love with. Okay, it just you feel it in your body, you love it, you desire it, you want to pursue it, and that is what Venus will do for you as this next inflection point comes to a close. She will have another inflection point with an inferior conjunction next year. So we basically have 10 months from now to increase the energy of this creative cycle to a peak, kind of like a full moon. Okay, so for those of you that use moon energy, this is a really, really nice, like, new moon phase for Venus. Okay, it's finally here, the conjunction we've been waiting for. This happens every 20 months, and it's happening while she's in Taurus with the sun and with Jupiter and Mercury and just all this benefic, beautiful energy. Now, underneath all this, underneath the bigger transit of Jupiter, trine Pluto, and Venus conjunct the sun, we have this cluster of nodal energy, Mercury energy, um, and all the players that we've been talking about. Okay, so the first thing you got is from the 1st to the 5th. Now, this is all during the new moon, too. So, we're going to do a new moon video and we'll probably break these down a little bit more for what they mean. Mercury sextiling Neptune. This is, I just have words for this one. So, this is like soothing words, perceptive senses, counseling, guidance, holding space, feeling intuitively into your dreams and your visions, tapping into your creative, tapping into spirit. Then from the 1st to the 6th, we have Sun Venus trine the north south node and sextile the north node. So there's an expressive purpose and an ease here that feels like everyone's on the same page. Okay. So, like I said, it just feels so good at the beginning of this transit. Then there's that sort of healing point with Mars and the sacred masculine. Then we've got the big messages of the transit of the forecast, and then these punctuation points. So everyone's on the same page. Like, not only are you feeling good and powerful and in control and abundant and at ease, but everyone like agrees with you and wants to help you. From the 2nd to the 5th, you've got Mercury trining on Pluto. This is communicating into the mysteries. This is an ability to wheel and deal at a negotiation that is obsessively successful. So you're able to like pick out the players, pick out the pieces, make those connections, and get something to happen. Negotiations, contracts, compromise are all highlighted here. So it might feel like it's an action phase, even though it's a new moon and a new Venus cycle. So I wouldn't get too overboard with the action. A lot of this feels very mental and very feeling. Like, it's very Venus Mercury energy right now. You're getting it down on paper. You're making decisions about which way you want to go. And I think once we get into the next lunation, there might be some opportunities for some really profound and impactful action. Mercury conjuncts Jupiter from the 2nd to the 5th. Okay, so now it's Mercury's turn to step in there. So this is expressive ideas, spiritual inspiration, great time to start a new course, a new study, write a book, plan trips. You should feel very broad-minded, generous, and friendly. All right, cool. So that's this transit. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about with you guys? Oh, yeah, something really, really exciting just got confirmed last night. And I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I'm going to have a co-professor on our next uh, class at learn.drdanny.com. I'm endeavoring to go through all of the planets. So we have a few left. Neptune is one of them. One of my dear friends and colleagues, Maria Schumacher, I consider her a Neptune expert. She's also very Venusian, very spiritual, a wonderful professional astrologer. She is going to come on with us and talk about Neptune through the constellations. And you're going to get some archetype energy to work with as well. And it's going to be a little bit of a different format instead of going through everything block by block like we do with the courses and during the lives. It's going to be more of a learning and a discussion. And so that way we'll flow a little bit, we'll learn a little bit, and it might be even more impactful with both of us there. Okay, so there'll be announcements and links to sign up for that. For those of you that know Maria, know what I'm talking about. Her and I have a very good chemistry, and so it should be quite an impactful course. And I'm very excited to present her as someone in this arena that can be looked to as an advisor and a counselor and a teacher. Okay. And then I think next week we might be doing a live together here on YouTube. We want to talk about Mercury and Venus being conjunct. So stay tuned for that to come out. So lots of exciting things, you guys. And again, I'm so excited to see y'all for the Jupiter class tomorrow. So those of you that are enrolled will get an email. Anybody that enrolls after the email, just make sure you go back to the module and check out the resource document because it will tell you how to log into the course. Okay. So I think that's everything. All right, my loves. Until next week, I'll be doing that live with Miss Maria. And then we will talk more about our Neptune course together. We'll do the Neptune course tomorrow, and then there'll be a new moon video probably coming out after that. So join the Fellowship of 13 Signs. You can order a reading from me if you like. Check out Dr. Griner's work with More Please and Abundance. And I love you all. Namaste, my friends.